Even if she is married, before you give up, understand that most men quit too early. They assume the battle is lost before the war even begins. She's pulling back, acting distant, not responding as she once did, and you take it as a sign that it's over. But what if this moment is actually your greatest advantage? What if, instead of reacting with desperation, you could shift the dynamic in your favor, without chasing, pleading, or compromising your self-respect? Most men never grasp this. They act impulsively, let emotions dictate their actions, and ultimately destroy any chance of turning things around. So before you give up, pay close attention, because what you're about to learn will put you in a position most men never reach. Men panic when a woman becomes distant, assuming she's lost interest, met someone else, or simply stopped caring. But attraction doesn't vanish overnight. It fades in stages. In the beginning, she felt excitement, challenge, and uncertainty. Now she knows exactly where you stand and the mystery is gone. She tests your emotional control, often without realizing it. Do you stay composed, or do you overreact? She needs space to feel something again. Attraction thrives on distance, tension, and emotional shifts, not words or constant reassurance. When something is always available, its value diminishes. This is where most men fail. Instead of matching her withdrawal, they push harder, texting more, calling more, trying more. And that's when attraction dies. If she doesn't have to earn your attention, she won't value it. Most men don't even recognize the silent test when it happens. When a woman pulls away, it's often an unconscious test of emotional strength. She's watching. Will he chase or will he hold his ground? Does he truly have options, or is he just pretending? And this is where most men fail instantly. She ignores them, and they text again. She delays her response, and they ask if something's wrong. She cancels plans, and they scramble to reschedule. Every reaction confirms that she's in control. But the men who pass this test, the ones who set themselves apart, do the opposite. They don't chase, they don't demand answers, they don't break frame, they hold their position. And that's when something shifts. She starts to feel something she didn't expect. Regret. Here's what most men don't understand. Women don't fall in love with presence, they fall in love with absence. The less you give freely, the more valuable you become. Think about it. When something is always available, you stop noticing it. But when it disappears, you start craving it. This is why the most powerful move you can make is to pull back at the right time. Instead of texting first, wait. Instead of liking her posts, ignore them. Instead of rearranging your life for her, prioritize yourself. The moment you stop being predictable, always reachable, and overly responsive, everything changes. She notices your absence, and suddenly, she's the one wondering, why isn't he reacting? Has he lost interest? Is he seeing someone else? When you stop giving without thought, she starts missing you. Here's the text to delete while the voiceover tried to make text better. Most men try to fix the situation by explaining themselves, proving their worth, or reassuring her of their feelings. But attraction doesn't work that way. Instead of chasing, match her energy. If she pulls back, don't try to compensate. Mirror her distance and stay neutral. If she reaches out, acknowledge it, but don't overinvest. And when she comes back, which she will, don't make the mistake of welcoming her back too easily. She disappears for a week, then suddenly texts, "Hey," and most men jump at the opportunity. That's a mistake. Stay calm. Don't treat her message like the best thing that's happened to you. Let her work for it. If she left, she needs to prove she's serious about coming back. Regain control of the pace. Don't fall into old patterns. Let her feel the distance before giving her too much attention again. If you do this, she'll respect you more, because now she knows she can't take you for granted. Not every woman will come back, and that's something you must accept. If she pulls away and never returns, she's done you a favor by saving you from wasting time on the wrong person. You don't want someone who stays only because you chase her. You want someone who chooses to stay because she values you. Most men will never understand the power of silence. They believe they need to argue, explain, or fight for her attention when she starts pulling away. But silence speaks louder than any words. It creates uncertainty, mystery, and a shift in emotional power. At first, she assumes you'll reach out, that you'll check in or try to fix things. But as days turn into weeks, something changes. She realizes you're not coming back. You're no longer predictable, no longer the guy always waiting in the background. You've disappeared from her world, creating a void she never anticipated, and that forces her to reevaluate everything. Most women assume men will always be available, that no matter how much they pull away, you'll still be there. Why wouldn't they? Most men chase. Most men can't handle distance. But when you break that pattern, when you choose silence instead of reaction, you shatter her expectations. She starts to wonder, why isn't he reaching out? Why hasn't he tried to fix this? Is he really moving on? And in that moment, she faces a question she never thought she'd ask. Did I misjudge him? That single thought triggers emotions she wasn't prepared for, shifting the entire dynamic in a way she never expected. Most men never reach this stage because they give up too soon. At first she feels fine, maybe even relieved, assuming you'll reach out any moment. But then, silence. No texts, no calls, no engagement on her social media. Days pass, then weeks, and that's when something shifts. She starts checking her phone more often, expecting a message that never comes. And for the first time, she's the one feeling uncertain. She's the one questioning whether she made a mistake. Because now, you're no longer chasing. And that changes everything. A woman values you based on how difficult you are to replace. When you were always there, she never had to consider losing you. But now, in your absence, something unsettling happens. She starts wondering if she took you for granted. She starts questioning if she misjudged your worth. And the most powerful part? She doesn't even realize she's doing it. It happens instinctively. When something is always available, it fades into the background. But when it disappears, it becomes a mystery. And mystery fuels attraction. Once the silence sets in, she does what most women do. She starts watching. She checks your online activity, scrolls through old messages, maybe even likes a post just to see if you'll react. Why? Because she's trying to solve a problem that didn't exist before. Did I actually lose him? That single thought locks her focus on you. Because when a woman realizes she might have lost a man who was once fully devoted to her, emotions surface that she never expected. And suddenly, she feels the full weight of your absence. The moment she starts testing the waters is where most men fail. She might send a casual, "Hey," react to a post, or message you about something trivial. But it's not trivial. It's a test. She's checking, are you still there? And if you respond too quickly, too eagerly, you hand her the answer she wants. Just like that, the dynamic resets. She knows she still has your attention whenever she wants, and once again, she loses interest. When she finally reaches out after your silence, most men see it as a victory. They think, she's back. Now I can act normal again. Wrong. This is the most critical moment. Your response now determines everything. You have two choices: fall back into old patterns and let her regain control, or stay composed and make her work for your attention. The second choice is the one that keeps her invested, because now you're not the same man she once knew. Now you're a challenge, and women are drawn to challenges. The key mindset shift is understanding this. You never want to be the man who is always available, always chasing. Your focus should be on your own life, your own priorities. When you create space, when you allow her to miss you, you become more valuable in her eyes. You become the man she has to work for, and that's what creates lasting attraction. A man who never has to chase doesn't win women over through games. He wins by having standards, valuing his time, and making her prove she deserves his energy. That's the shift that separates men who get played from the men women can't forget. And here's when everything changes. When your silence is no longer just noticed, but felt. At first, she assumed you'd be back, that you'd eventually give in, send a message, or try to reconnect. But now something deeper is happening. Your absence is no longer a minor inconvenience, it's disrupting her emotions. She checks her phone more often, hoping to see your name. She replays old conversations, wondering if she missed the signs of you slipping away. And the longer this goes on, the more she starts questioning herself. Did I push him too far? Was I wrong about him? Is he really gone for good? And that is when the power shifts entirely in your favor. Most men never grasp the real secret. This isn't just about missing you. It's about power. She's realizing she no longer has the control she once did, and that realization unsettles her. When a person can't have what they want, they instinctively start searching for it elsewhere. That's exactly what happens when you stop reaching out. She tries to fill the void, texting old flings, seeking attention from new guys, or posting online, hoping you'll react. But none of it feels the same. The moment she starts comparing, she loses. No matter who she talks to, you're still on her mind. You've become a mystery she can't solve, a lingering thought she can't shake. And the more she tries to push past it, the more she deepens her own frustration. Her ego won't let her admit she misses you. Women experience two conflicting forces, emotion and ego. Emotion feels the loss, the regret, the longing. Ego refuses to accept defeat. Instead of admitting her feelings outright, she plays games. She might send a casual, "Hey, hope you're doing well," hoping you'll take the bait. She might post about how amazing her life is, hoping you'll notice. But inside, she's waiting, hoping you're still watching, hoping you'll react. The moment you don't, the real battle begins. Now she doesn't know if you've moved on or if you've mastered something most men never do. Detachment. Detachment is what shatters her ego. When she finally realizes you were the prize, everything shifts. You weren't just another guy. You weren't someone she could string along forever. You weren't someone who would wait indefinitely. And the painful part? She realizes it too late. Because by now, you've changed. You've grown. You've become the man who no longer seeks her validation. And in that moment, she understands what you knew all along. The real power was never in her approval, but in your ability to walk away. Now she's the one left questioning if she'll ever get another chance. And this is where most men fail. When she finally reaches out, they fall right back into the trap, responding too quickly, acting too eager, giving her the validation she craved. And the moment she gets it, she disappears again. That's why you can't play this game like most men. If she comes back, stay grounded. Don't drop everything just because she texts. Don't make her the center of your world just because she shows interest again. Don't repeat the same patterns that led her to take you for granted in the first place. Instead, let her work for it. If she truly values you, she'll prove it. Not with words, but with actions. And if she doesn't, then you've already won. Because you finally understand that you never needed her in the first place. Don't chase. Level up. If she let you down, don't beg. Don't run after her. Just focus on yourself. Keep improving, keep moving forward, and let your silence speak for you. If this video gave you value, make sure to like and subscribe. I'll see you in the next one.